Everybody, so I am back with another video, and today I'm going to tell you guys about red raspberry leaf and red clover blossoms. I briefly mentioned them, I think, in the last video. I didn't even go into detail about them, but when I was talking about how I've pretty much let go of all my doctors and taking my health into my own hands holistically and herbally, I mentioned that I drink red raspberry leaf and red clover blossom. The reason I want to tell you guys about these is because both are extremely beneficial when it comes to trying to conceive. Now, red raspberry leaf, you guys have probably heard a lot about it. It's usually something that pregnant women drink, that midwives give to pregnant women. The reason it's given to pregnant women is to help them tone their uterus in preparation for labor. There is a myth that red raspberry leaf sets you into labor, that it induces naturally. It does not. That is not what it does. There are a couple of women that it has happened to, but those are exceptions to the rule, and the rule is it does not induce labor. What it does is it tones the uterus, which does cause light contractions, kind of feel like Braxton Hicks contractions, which is probably why some women actually did go into labor. But it does it in preparation for labor and delivery, because once it's toned up during labor and delivery, it is so prepared that the uterus is more powerful and more effective in pushing. And it has actually been proven to shorten the second stage of labor, transition, and it has been proven to shorten the pushing stage as well. It's really, and it really is effective. I've attended women who have drank it, and I mean they've had pretty awesome labors. So, but what a lot of people don't know is that women trying to conceive can also drink it, and it's also very beneficial to them. It contains vitamins C, E, A, and B complex, which helps the immune system. And if you're drinking it before you have a baby, it actually helps enrich your body so much that it helps the baby's bone development, the developing fetus. It helps bone development and skin development, actually. And it promotes circulation throughout your body. So, and when you're, pregnant, that's really helpful. But, even beforehand, it's awesome. And, I forgot, but it also helps replace blood loss, during labor and delivery. And it also does that during periods. It helps replenish the blood that you've lost, so there's no feeling tired or exhausted and just very faint. There's none of that. It contains phosphorus, potassium, and calcium, which are great for anybody. Everybody needs that. It actually enriches breast milk in a lot of women who are breastfeeding, though there are some people that claim that it doesn't help breast milk. But, there are lactation consultants, there are midwives, there is even literature in some books that suggests that drinking red raspberry leaf will help replenish your breast milk, and help enrich it as well. There are also some women who have said that they feed it to their goats. I think they feed it to their goats to help replenish breast milk. The goat's milk, even after the babies stop feeding. Anyway, in women who are trying to conceive or simply trying to make their female systems healthier, it regulates your cycles. It helps to regulate your cycles, and it also helps to ease the pain of your periods, as well as it lightens the bleeding. And it's very much proven. It's wonderful. The reason that it lightens the bleeding is because it enriches your uterine lining. So it keeps it from being too thin, but it keeps it from getting too thick. And it actually makes it sticky, for lack of a better word, in case an embryo does fertilize and it can implant into the lining, sticky lining. And that's what it helps it. It makes it all baby friendly in there. The thing that I find the neatest is that there are two different types of women in the world. There are women who have a relaxed uterus. I'm trying to think of a better word than lazy. I have to stop saying lazy. Your uterus is not lazy. A relaxed uterus, and then there are women who have a tight uterus. Women who have a relaxed uterus, if they are drinking red raspberry leaf, I was drinking it a solid 3 times a day in the beginning. Now it's just kind of like 2 or 3. But I was drinking it a solid 3 times a day, and for the first week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, I noticed every time I drank, for like an hour after I drank it, I would have cramping, and it felt like period cramping. And after a while, it started getting lighter and lighter. You know, as the days went on, it didn't cramp so much, and now I don't get the cramps at all anymore. So I believe that my uterus was actually relaxed, and it toned up and, you know, tightened up a little bit. And then there are women who have an extremely tight uterus, and drinking this red raspberry leaf also helps to relax a tight uterus. So it's beneficial to both. I'm trying to... when you mix red raspberry leaf, you can mix it with other herbs such as red clover blossom or like spearmint, nettle leaf, licorice. There are a bunch of different kinds of herbs that are also helpful with female systems and trying to conceive. And actually, sorry guys, that was my bad. I accidentally like knocked it. Alright, anyway, so what I was trying to grab was this. This is like the greatest company in the world. They're traditional medicinals, and they make, this is their female toner tea. It is a complete blend with raspberry leaf, but they also have a strictly raspberry leaf tea. This one though, this is what I was talking about with all the different herbs and everything. This has organic raspberry leaf, licorice root, strawberry leaf, nettle leaf, blessed thistle herb, angelica root, spearmint leaf, rose hips, and you know, a few more things on the list, but it's all organic. This is a really good company. I mean, look, they strongly encourage recycling. I mean, they're just awesome. So I used to drink that before I moved on to the bulk herbs and everything, but all of those help as a mixture. I do infusions now, which a lot of people probably don't have the time to do, especially if you're a woman on the go. You would probably prefer a tea, like traditional medicinals. An infusion, you're basically taking, you know, like an ounce of herbs, and you put them in a quart-sized jar, and you boil, you know, a quart of water, like 4 cups of water, and with the herbs already in the bottom of the jar, you pour the boiling water over it, you screw the cap on as fast as you can, and you leave it for about 8 hours. You leave it overnight, and you start drinking it the next day. And it infuses, you know, it helps make it stronger. But some women really don't have a lot of time for that, and it's just easier to make the tea. And I mean, with the traditional medicinals tea, all you're doing is you do basically the same thing. You put the tea bag in the cup, you boil a cup of water, you pour the boiling water over it, and let it sit. Cover the top of the cup and let it sit for about 10 minutes. You know, just lightly infuse and drink it, and it's a lot more effective that way. Anyway, I kind of went off track a little bit, but I guess you guys needed to know all that. The cool thing about red raspberry leaf is that it is a phytoprogesterone. It is plant progesterone. It is not human progesterone, and it is not a chemically synthetic progesterone, which means it is really, really good for women with PCOS. It's kind of like soy, but soy is actually bad for women with PCOS. Soy is estrogen. It's an estrogen replacement, and a majority of women with PCOS, they do not need extra estrogen. That's what's sitting in our bodies. We have androgens and estrogen, and we don't have any progesterone, which is one of the big issues with our infertility. So, and that's also another problem. I mean, we're not having periods or anything, and then, you know, our lining is just sitting there being exposed to the estrogen in our bodies, which then heightens the risk for endometrial cancer, things like that. So estrogen is just, we don't need a lot of extra estrogen. So, basically this is a phytoprogesterone though. This is a plant progesterone, and it's a good progesterone replacement. It's just really helpful. Medicinally, red raspberry leaf is also used to relieve inflammation. It relieves diarrhea. It can help mouth sores. If you buy the tincture, you can rub it into cold sores on your mouth, or even sores on your skin, and it's supposed to help heal it. But yeah, so that's red raspberry leaf, and I guess I'm gonna make like a totally separate video for red clover. Sorry. So I guess that's yeah, that's pretty much a good tutorial on red raspberry leaf for you guys. If you want to look more into it, you know, be my guest. I have found a lot of women with a lot of good things to say about it. And also herbalists and even midwives have a lot of good things to say about it. So, you know, if you need to do your research, that's fine, but I would definitely suggest going out and buying it, whether you buy the herbs or you buy the traditional medicinals, and you can either buy the female toner, which is what I had, or they have a regular plain red raspberry leaf tea, and it's only like $5 a box, so it's great. So yeah, okay, well, on to red clover.